All right, welcome back, everybody. We have some magnets for our light bar. These were like $3 a piece at Walmart, and it just has a little riv nut and a hook hanger, and that would be part number 9984687. And there's the back of it if you wanted to look that up online. It should be strong enough with two of them, but what we're going to do is spin the little hook hanger out of the back of this and then drill out the bottom so that we can put our bolt coming off of the bottom of our light bar, and then we're going to put a nut in here, and then there's a little cover that goes over the magnet so it doesn't scrape up stuff that I pulled off. It's basically just like a little sticker with a plastic coating on the back of it. So we're gonna get that situated, and then we'll have these set up and adjusted so that the mower can have its light bar back and mounted on the hood. All right, we got those drilled out. It will make some metal shavings, which with anything with a magnet kind of creates some issues. You wind up with stuff stuck between the metal and the magnet part, and that's just, it looks like just hot glued on there. But what I did was used a little piece of double-sided tape, foam tape, and just stuck that to the back of the magnet to kind of like peel the shavings up so that I didn't have to try and pick that all out of there. So now we can mount these to the bolts coming off of the mount for the light bar, and then we'll put the nut on the inside part, tighten that down, probably spacer it with some washers between here and the light bar to kind of raise it up a little bit. And then we'll put the little plastic sticker cover back on the bottom of that to seal it up so it doesn't scratch up the metal on the hood. All right, so we got our magnets and we got our light bar, and we're going to stack some washers on the top of this thing on each side, so that'll spacer it up so that it can clear over the top of this cowl piece that's here, and we'll still get light where we need it when we need it. So I got a whole box of washers over here. And we're just gonna stack these up onto the bottom of this, and then we'll screw our magnets. The protective piece is already on the bottom, and then the nut is inside of there. So we'll stack the washers and then screw that on. I'll show you just a minute here. We just got to figure out how many washers we need for each one. But it kind of works out perfect because it'll act like a little spacer. And I decided to go this route because the Tractor Supply ones were like $15 for one magnet, and they didn't really have the right setup for this mount. It was more the ones on where it has a spot on the side to screw into and then came down. So this makes more sense because I can still slide and adjust these to fit in between where the hood is to make the magnet idea work. So I think that's going to be, we're going to need probably 3 or 4 more. What do you think, bud? What do you think? Huh? You good boy. Four might be a bit too much, we'll find out. Yep. Try taking 2 off. Spin our magnet on. And yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. I need one more. So it's going to be a bit of a trick to get this to work, where it'll tighten up, but it won't push higher than the edge of where the magnet sits. So I'm going to try putting one more washer on that, and then tighten that back up and see if that works better. All right, we got it figured out here. Got those stacked up, and I'll probably put some electrical tape or heat shrink or something around that, just to clean it up a little bit, looks wise. But that comes perfectly flush with the bottom of that nut that sits down in there. So when that's on the hood, that won't be pushing up past the magnet. So now what I can do is take the little sticker cover piece here, and we can put that back over. And really, it's just something they put on there so it doesn't scratch the paint. I've seen them do like a felt finish, or rubberized, but this should work just fine as well. So we'll get the other side done, and then we'll test fit the hood on and see how all that clears and see how it looks. I think that's got it. So we got it spacered out, magnets on, and then if we need to open the hood, we just take that there. Open our hood and get to whatever we need to. And then when we're done, put it back down, close that, then stick that right back on. Looks like it'll work. And then for our winch mount, that's what we're going to work on next. We got new hardware for that one that was stripped out for this side, and it looks like we got plenty of clearance between the bottom of the hood and where we're going to mount the winch down there. So we'll get this hood back off for now, out of the way, and we'll get some winch mounts bolted up. Getting there. Alright, so we got our winch mount set up here, some new hardware, and we're doing a rod between the two to kind of keep things from twisting funky sideways and that stuff. So now I got to take the mounting plate for this, and we're going to set this up. So we're going to set this up so that this can sit down in here on the bracket, and this has got to be centered on the winch cable, because otherwise it will grind into the back of that. So this actually has to come out some here. That. And then I think what I'm going to do is put one bolt and a nut down through here, just to kind of keep that centered, and then I can find my mounting spot back here. So we'll get that lined up. Then I can scribe that onto the metal plate that's down there and drill the hole for that. So we'll be back with you once I get some of that situated. And then we just got to run some wiring. We got it mounted. We got it bolted in there to the plate. Then another one in the back here. And then we got our crossbar support to there so it doesn't twist. And our plunger to disengage it, spin clearance there. So we just gotta finish up some wiring, and I think next video I'll be able to show you testing this winch out and probably get her a little stuck on purpose, or I don't know, we'll find something fun to test it out on. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I hope everybody enjoyed. A little bit of a quick and dirty video on this one, but the next couple of videos should be more riding around and adventuring with the mower now that we got it pretty much put together. The other situation is we had about 3 feet of snow in the last 2 weeks. So I got some packing down to do on the trails with the snowmobile before this thing will be able to make it too far. But we'll test it out in a couple spots with the deep snow and see how far we can get. It's just really more of an issue of ground clearance than anything with this. I have thought of making a kind of a winter mode for this, where take some old skis and strap them to the front setup, and then the rear becomes basically paddle tires, and just air them down till there's like no air in them, basically. Get as much squish as possible and just crawl along with it. But that's gonna about wrap it up for this one. I'll probably give you a picture with the hood back on and the light bar and the winch and everything for the end of this. But hope everybody had a good night and enjoy the adventure. We'll see you next time. Bye. Snowbanks are taller than my top of my truck. They had the bucket loader running up to like 2 o'clock yesterday trying to clear all this out. I wouldn't have been going much of anywhere. And the other way, I had drifts just as tall as this across the backside of the fields.